Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be picking my monthly TBR for the month of May. And listen, before we even get into it, yes, I have been gone for a very long time. In YouTube land, it's a long time. In reality, 1 or 2 weeks. In YouTube land, that's a long time to be MIA. If you care to know, I'm thinking I should do a Q&A one day on this YouTube channel because there are a lot of things about me that you guys really don't know. If you care to have a Q&A, then leave a comment below and then I'll answer some questions for you. Anyway, beyond that part, yes, I have been gone for a long time. May has already started, let's be honest. So we have a few weeks left of the month, and so it's not completely over yet. It's not done yet. I want to maximize the last few weeks of May and just make sure that I have good books to read. So because we only have a few weeks left of the month, not a full month, I'm going to only be picking 2, maybe 3 books in this TBR video today. One thing I have learned since doing this thing is I need to be more realistic with myself and my reading expectations. I'm always picking so many books. Look at this bookshelf. This whole bookshelf is all the books that I have purchased and not read yet, right? All that is to say is I tend to overshoot on goals, which is not a terrible problem, but it is the thing worth noting. I always have this really long TBR list and then I don't read, or I get busy, which right around now in my life I'm super busy. May is a really busy month in general, but it's times 5 right now for me because I'm in overdrive about a bunch of stuff. So if you care to know, then yeah, Q&A. So I'm going to be using my acorn to pick the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of May. I'm only going to be picking 2 or 3 prompts, like I said. This acorn always makes an appearance in these videos, and I love this basket because what else would I use this basket for? It's straight up a legit basket, you know? But it's a basket full of prompts for me, and I love this for us. So let's get it started. I'm going to pick the books, and then we're going to talk about each of the books after I pick them. So the first prompt that we are picking, oh, I did not realize my light was on a timed basis. Okay, that's interesting. Good to know. Anyway, let's pick some books. But you saw how dark it was with this light? Whoa, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, like I said, good to know. The first book that the prompts are picking, at this point I have no idea what these prompts even are. I literally made these prompts back in October of 2023 and it's May 2024, and look at all the prompts I have left. We might as well use them, right? So let's use them. I'm kind of nervous because I really want to read good books. I only have 2 or 3 weeks left, so realistically it has to be good. Here's where I start feeling weird. Alright, the first prompt says if I can open it, struggling. A book with magic. Girl, literally so many options. I have a lot of dark academia books, so that's giving magic, but more specifically magic, how much magic are we talking? Ooh, wait, now things are coming back to me. The first book that popped in my head was girl, I literally went blank. Once Upon a Broken Heart. What is it called? Yeah, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This one, I heard that you had to read the Carvel trilogy, but I'm wondering if you really do. I don't know. And also I love this cover. It is literally so cute, so freaking cute. We're gonna talk about what this book is about in just a second. First of all, it's giving spring, is it not? It's really giving spring. It's giving spring/summer, and I love this for me. So I'm gonna start reading this book low-key today. So girl, look, stay tuned for the reading vlogs, okay? Okay, we're gonna talk about what that book is about in just a second. Let me pick the next book first, and then we're gonna get into the synopsis. Okay, so book number 2. Okay, all right, here's number 2. A book with dual timelines. I love books like this. I was already reading a book. Okay, let me take a step back and be honest. I was freaking reading Magnolia Park. It's up here ready to be read, right? I even have my bookmark in it still. But literally, I stopped reading at page 166. This book goes back in time between BJ, Ballantyne, and wait, I'm talking about the books. I said I wasn't gonna do that. So Magnolia Park and Once Upon a Broken Heart have been chosen. You know what? I'll pick a bonus book just in case. Should I? I already know I'm only gonna be able to read 2 of these books. Like, I already know. You know what? I'm gonna pick a 3rd book in case I'm in the mood for like a mood reading type of book and like I don't want to read these 2. Let me see what the universe will pick for me as a 3rd option. Let's see what else I could possibly read. A trilogy. Isn't this a trilogy? The universe keeps wanting me to read Legendary. Like, I swear it does. Like, I really believe that it does. Because every TBR prompt picking situation, I always end up picking this book. Why haven't I finished it? Why haven't I read it? Beats me. I don't know. I think I just get busy reading other books. So how about this? Someone said you had to finish a Carvel trilogy before you start reading Once Upon a Broken Heart. So what if I read this one before I read this one so that I don't mess anything up and spoil things for myself? That sounds like a good idea. This is great. This is great. This is great. Let's talk about what these books are about, actually. I have relocated to the living room. I put on my robe because I'm always cold, y'all. Like, you know, I've been having this robe for literally like 10 years and it's literally in great, perfect condition. Anyway, let's talk about the books that I picked. So the first book I picked was Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. It was about like magic, right? And I'm assuming that this book has magic in it because like it looks like it does, in my opinion. It says, how far would you go for happily ever after? Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Girl, look, wow. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts. Okay, immortal is giving magic. Prince of Hearts, though, where did he come from? But anyway, let me stay on track. But she soon discovers that bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. It sounds like it is, because Prince of Hearts? Bargaining? Come on. He's charismatic. It just sounds like a recipe for disaster. Anyway, he has plans for Evangeline. Plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. So Evangeline makes a deal with the prince to stop the love of her life from getting married to someone else. But he has plans for her. I think it's so funny that it says he has plans for Evangeline. Like, girl, what kind of plans? Like, I just love that. I've talked about this book at least once or twice before, and someone commented, was like, you need to finish the Carvel trilogy first before reading this book. I really don't know, because it just seems like it can stand on its own, but like, do I need to read the Carvel trilogy? Because I am reading that book this month, apparently. Which one should I read first? Let me not get ahead of myself though. Anyway, the second book that I picked was a book that had dual timelines, and so I need to finish this book already. Magnolia Park by Jessa Hastings. In a nutshell, Magnolia and BJ were dating in the past. They were like the perfect match made in heaven, and now they are broken up, but they're like in a toxic relationship basically. They go back in the past a lot to talk about basically like what happened, and then it jumps in the current time, the present day, where they're talking about what actually is going on right now. You know, another book that I really love that I read like a year ago, it was Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That was like the absolute perfect like timeline, dual timeline book that I have ever read. Like, it was so good. And ooh, and also The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was another good like dual timeline book. Like, it literally was about a journalist going to Evelyn Hugo and talking about her past. So it was like definitely going back and forth like almost every chapter. Girl, I just love Taylor Jenkins Reid. Like, do y'all have any recommendations for another Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I haven't read? I've read Daisy Jones and the Six, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn. I've also read Malibu Rising. I've read did I say Daisy Jones and the Six already? Do y'all have any other recommendations for Taylor Jenkins Reid book? Please leave a comment below because I love her writing. Anyway, in case I don't want to ruin this trilogy, I thought it made sense to like try to pick another book that might be good for mood reading until I figure out what to read first, whatever. But then I ended up picking this one, which is Legendary. It's the second book of the Carvel trilogy. Before I read anything else, I just need to start this book, because if I don't start this book, I'm never gonna get to this book. It's like a downward spiral from there. So like I have to read this book basically. This is the second book of a trilogy, so if you have not read Carvel, I'll link my reading vlog below to where I read that book. I read it in a 24-hour reading vlog, I believe, like my very first one, but I didn't really talk about it in much detail, so I'll also link the wrap-up video that I filmed of me talking about it. I gave that book like 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember. If I remember correctly, Carvel was like an event or like a game. Audience members can participate. It's in a different location. Like every year they have this game and magic is involved. They have 4 or 5 nights of the game. The game takes place at night. They're all looking for something. The object of the game is to find Nutella. And whoever wins the game, whoever finds the sister, gets a free wish. And so obviously everybody who's playing the game is looking for the sister. But like, what's her main character's name? Forgot her name. Is it in here? Scarlett. Okay, it's Scarlett, yeah. Scarlett is looking for her own sister because she's also at the game. Everybody's looking for the sister, including the sister. Whoever finds her wins. And so like, it's really like crazy competitive and like whimsical. Scarlett needs to find her own sister. Forget this game. Like, this is my sister we're talking about. And then they only have 4 or 5 nights. What happens after the 4 or 5 nights are up? I can't remember if it's 4 or 5. I think it's 5. But like, anyway, what happens once the thing is over? Like, what if they don't find a sister? Who finds the sister? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happens? It's good, it's good. And so this is the second book. I also have a self-help book that I've been reading. It's by Louise Hay. Let me see. Dude, I have been having this book for a very long time. Like, I literally bought this book a year ago. It's called You Can Heal Your Life. You Can Heal Your Life. Actually, it sounds like I said you can heal your life. You can heal your life. I talk really fast sometimes. Anyway, Louise Hay. She is like a phenomenal self-help kind of person. Like, she's really like inspirational teacher that helps you learn about how to like heal within. Basically, you can heal your life. This is obviously like a non-fiction self-help kind of book. Always says self-help / alternative health kind of book. This is something that I'm reading to like kind of grow within and fix my like, not fix, but like work on inner healing. And every now and then I love to like read a non-fiction book. I love reading memoirs. I have a few of those. And I love reading like self-help books. This is kind of like a little bit of all that in one because Louise Hay does talk about her own personal life in this book. I already read this book once. The book suggests that you read it straight through one time and then you go back and read it again, but then do each chapter like with all the exercises that it says to do. So this book isn't gonna be like a book that I talk about in much detail because it's very much like self-help, and if you're not into self-help, it's fine. Yeah, if you are into self-help books, leave a comment below so I can know like, is it worth talking about? I normally read books like this like either early in the morning or like late at night before I like go to bed, you know? It kind of like resets my mind and gets me like thinking more clearly.